And again, just trying to taking a look, I'm going to start on another section, this being the last piece. So basically just a cylindrical shape routed out there, and then placing this piece in as a rectangular section. Hopefully you can see the dimensional quality of this. So just kind of repeat this as a rectangular shape in perspective a little bit, if it was the rectangular part, and then just rounding this section off. And once you get the basic structure of this, it'll give you all the room to do all the coloring and the texturing for that. So essentially you have this laid out, and like I say, looking at something very geometric to get started is the easiest, and then taking a look at your reference and really concentrating on the contour. So for example, as the geometry's there, you have that to play off of and to build that. I'm just using a brown. You can change up all the colors that you have because you're essentially going to mix those in. Just building this part up. Following that contour there. So you have essentially the general idea and then the more detailed overlapping of these lines, and that's where you have to slow down a little bit, take a look at it. That texture comes in, and these are actually shapes that have that cresting of the line that's showing over the top. And again, this part here where you can see this loop, kind of, you can break it all apart with a cross contour overlapping line, depending on the color for this chocolate. And you can exaggerate it a little bit, give it a little more kind of animated feel to it. Remember, the color that you pick, you can still blend in, so you're not totally off the picture there. And the reflections that are in this dark chocolate are still dark, but they're lighter within that piece. Once you have the basic shape and then the working on the contour, go ahead and give yourself a basic local color, and you'll see the texture is still pretty light. And move your paper so you can really get the shape for it. And try to keep it the brightest colors that you're thinking of, or if you're mixing this, again, yellow and purple on top are going to give you that brown color. So you're trying to think of the intensity of the color at the same time. So like the overall shape of this is still a light color, so I'm not pushing too hard with the pencil. So there's the local color, and then it's a good idea sometimes to just give it a nice dark value so you have the contrast of the color. This also has a little extra piece to it coming off. And something like this, when you really look at the reference, it's got the dark and the light highlights just spelled right out there for you. So I'm trying to bring that texture so now it has two tones, and the third one will fit right in there. And you can see I'm losing the light paper texture coming out. And do the same thing with the lighter color to kind of look for the shapes, and even if I'm just doing it lightly enough that I can always blend it with another color. So again, you can see not only the texture but the volume of it. And again, that can be blurred, and same with the top. So I'm finding that it's a tricky piece because of the texture. And again, you can even, just using a little bit of black in there. Like I said, you can mix the colors, primary colors, blue, you can mix in there and I'll try to blend it into it. When you mix those two colors together, you get a little bit deeper brown. So it's just a little bit of the color theory that you're trying to mix into here. Right now I'm kind of losing the texture, just kind of adding more color to that. Again, when you think of this on the computer illustrating with Photoshop, you're just mixing colors as well, pushing and blending it. Here's another color in there. Here I'm just using a little cream color on top of that just to see what that'll do. And I'm kind of going over with a brighter color just to mix it in the pencil right on the paper there. Build that piece up. 30. And still letting the texture come around the top of this. And again, mixing it with another color to blend it at the same time. Just bringing that color up. Here's just a yellow color. Over the top of that. And I can just do it in the beginning so the color intensity comes out. Let the part that's in the distance fade out a little bit. And some of the texture. Texture in here. Just letting a little bit of a cream color blend in here. Gives you a little bit of the looks. I can kind of show in the mix of colors there.